Hello, I am Endlessness and welcome back to Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis, and in this video I wanted to talk about the player survey, because right now we have our first official survey that every player can and actually should fill, because the management team wants to hear our feedback, so I'm assuming it will all directly go to them, so it's our chance to relay everything that we think and feel about the game and what we would like to see improved on. And it's not only important for the management team, but every player who fills their survey will receive 1000 blue crystals. So I think it's in everyone's best interest to fill this survey. And when you click on the link in that in-game notice, you get redirected to the browser, to the survey, and here you can see 1000 blue crystals for filling it. And yes, it might take some time. I mean, it's 50 questions, so it might take you maybe 30 minutes, maybe longer, but I think it's very much worth it, since we get 1000 blue crystals and the management team gets very important feedback. But yeah, the first question, you have to provide your player ID that's in-game, so best just copy it, otherwise if you fill it wrong, you will not get your crystals, so it has to be correct. The second question is also very basic, just your in-game name and then age and also gender, but the second page is where those important questions start. So what other 3 mobile games from this list you play? And personally, I don't play mobile games. Ever Crisis is just one mobile game. I'm a console player, but it depends. You can choose 3 other games if you play other ones, but here it's up to you, so everything is just subjective and what you would like to see. So question 6 is crossover. So which other mobile games you would like to see, or I'm not sure. I think it's all of that is just mobile games, but what are games you would like to see crossover with? And personally, I don't really care about crossovers, especially with other IPs and the ones that are mobile games. I know, I would rather, if we have to get crossovers, I would rather see it with Final Fantasy title, because as we know, Monster Hunter, we got it once and we never got a rerun. So Final Fantasy series or any other IP that's owned by Square Enix guarantees us a rerun or even rerun banners, and I think this is a lot better than just getting a crossover and then never seeing a rerun. So, but if you like any of those games or IPs, then you should check it, because we can choose up to 3 games from this list. And how often do you play mobile games? Well, every day. Then how much time you spend in a day playing mobile games. So it's up to you how many hours you play. I'm not sure what to say, because you log into Ever Crisis for a few minutes every time, but also sometimes I just forget and I have the game just running, so I'm not sure what to say here. Maybe 2, 3, even though it's not really correct, but sometimes when we get new content, then of course we spend more time. And also, how often do you play Ever Crisis? So if you are an active player, of course you play every day. And how much time you spent on Ever Crisis every day, so the same thing here really. And what other titles have you played or watched? So for me, I played, well, not Dirge of Cerberus. I will not play this game. If you want to experience Dirge of Cerberus, I recommend just watching a playthrough, because this game is terrible in every way. And yeah, tell us what you liked about the titles. Alright, that's done, so what got you to start playing Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis? For me, I just like Final Fantasy VII. If you are a fan of Final Fantasy as IP, of course select this, but I just like the compilation of Final Fantasy VII specifically, and actually I didn't play most of Final Fantasy games, especially the older ones, and your favorite character, and you can only select one, so for me it's Sephiroth. And we only have the first soldier, because maybe in a few years we could get the adult Sephiroth, but well, alright. And on those questions, there is no character limit, so if you want to, you can write an essay, wall of text, where I just don't really know what to write here. But who would you like to see as a playable character in Ever Crisis? And this is terrible, because I would select most of those characters, but we can select only one. So I'm just selecting Sephiroth, the adult one, because I'm a Sephiroth simp, but Angeal, the adult one, would be amazing. Genesis, either in First Soldier when he is still a kid, or even the adult one, it would be amazing because he is a drama queen. But also Reno, Rude, Elena, Cisne. I'm assuming we'll get them when we get the Before Crisis story, but also Rufus. He would be amazing as a playable character. But also, I would love to see them expanding upon the character stories that we got at launch, and we never really got to see anything new on them. But yeah, just select one of the characters that you think you would like to see most, and what draws you to the characters. Well, character profile information, such as birthdays. I would love to see more lore, but we can't really. I'm not really sure why this question is here. But what draws you to Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis? So being able to experience the game, and of course, at least for me, I'm just sharing my opinion on what I'm checking here, but of course it's everything subjective, and not really, I'm not playing this on a phone. Characters and exclusive FF7 Ever Crisis gear, not really. I don't really care about the skins, just about the stats. And also I enjoy the battle system, the graphics are amazing, visuals also great. Challenging content, yes, but I would also like to see it being more accessible. Alright, that's done. So, what in-game Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis content do you enjoy? And of course, you can check whoever you want. Main story. I care about the story the most. Crossover events, not really. Because everything is limited, so nah. Challenging content, and it depends how restrictive they make it, because we had those very hard battles and crashes that are very restrictive, so they are mainly for whales and krakens, because when we have a whole global server and then after the crash you see that only 100, 200 people out of the whole global server were able to clear it, it's not even 0.5% of the whole player base. So in those cases I'm like, nah, I don't really enjoy that. I would like to see it being more accessible to more people, because not even 1% of the player base. I understand why, because they want to please those big spenders, but the whole player base doesn't really get to enjoy that. So it's very subjective, but I actually do enjoy it, the challenging content. Battle rankings, not really. Dungeon rank events, they are very restrictive, same thing as I just mentioned, so it is hit and miss. Damage challenges, I don't care, I only care about the 0.1% more damage that you can get from this. Character quest, I would love to see more of this. Summon quests, sure. Highwind, it's just some chocobo, it's just one click per day, don't really care. Co-op content, not sure what to say, it's just farming, but I would love to see Crisis dungeons return, because they just disappeared, and I'm not sure, I would love to see them again, because it was fun, it was something a little bit different, because we always get battles, which is the same format really. If it's easy or harder, it doesn't really matter, it's just the same format, the same gameplay, and the dungeons, they are something different, because we get to walk through the dungeon, even if it's just tiny bit, but it's something a little bit refreshing. Alright, I will also add dungeon ranking because mostly I do enjoy it a little bit more than battle ranking because they are so restrictive. You have to get the very specific characters to get that perfect team, and I don't really like that. But I also miss how in the past, so over a year ago, actually a little bit more than that, we had more freedom because now everything is so restrictive. Game wants you to have the specific character with a very specific gear, with very specific weapons and everything, and if you miss something then, well, suffer. But it's understandable because it's a gacha, but still I don't really like that. I would like to have more freedom. But choose up to 3 areas that you would like to see the game being improved on. And, well, the first thing I'm going to check is character quests. I would love to see more of that because those very few we got at launch and then Barrett's story, those were amazing because they would add the lore and everything, the world building to the world of Final Fantasy VII, and I would love to see more of that. And we can only check 3 things, and well, there's a lot that could be improved on. Pretty much everything here could be improved on. Alright, I'm going to check materia system and guilds. As I said, everything here could be improved on, but we can check only 3 things. And guilds, because yes, I enjoy guild battles, but I would like to see guilds being improved on, so more interactive, more activities. Not just guild battle every month, but we could have something every week, just a small thing, so it isn't too much. But also materia system, because it honestly sucks, the RNG. You could get 15% attack materia in the first week of playing, but after almost 2 years, you might still not have it. I don't have it. I don't remember last time I got 10% materia on something. It was last year. So this definitely should be improved on. But yeah, as I said, everything here could be improved. Alright, so I typed my wall of text, just a little bit elaborate. And have you ever stopped playing Ever Crisis? No, I haven't gone a single day without logging. It just has to be. And what is your favorite Ever Crisis gear? Well, I have a lot of outfits, but I am going with custom suit for Sephiroth, and actually Dark Knight robe for Matt is great, because I don't really care about skins because I don't really like them. They are very subjective and my tastes are also very limited, so most of these I don't care because I don't really like them, but those 2 I actually really do like them, and especially the original half anniversary gear. That was amazing, but again, we can only select 1. Alright, this is done, so are there any gear themes that you like to see in Ever Crisis? Sure. Alright, that's done, and now, really? Favorite wallpaper? I had to check the name of the wallpaper in the game, but obviously it's the one with double Sephiroth. But we have so many wallpapers, they should give us more options, not just one. Alright, that's done, and are there any ability animations and effects that impressed you? And actually, oh, I have to elaborate, of course. Alright, that's done, and honestly, I like most weapon animations in the game, especially the sword ones, because of course Zack is always flashy, but they just look very good, and they also look quite realistic, so I really like that. And I think only the gun animations, they are not really interesting, and I think they are a bit over the top because you just shoot a gun, you just go pew pew pew, you don't have to do vaults, dodges and everything just to shoot. But the sword animation, especially the half anniversary theme, it was amazing with those wisps of live stream. And I would love to see the return. And maybe all the characters one day could have that theme, those outfits and the weapons. It would be great. But how satisfied were you with Academy? Well, I didn't really care. I completed the story. Well, if you participate in the events, I think everyone who participates should have completed the story because you get crystals for those battles. Alright, that's done because you have to elaborate, so I personally didn't care because I don't really watch anime, especially those school themes, so don't care. And what themes or genres you'd like to see? Oh no, for future events like the Academy. Don't care about any of that, so science fiction or mythology, that would be cool. And which event story is your favorite? And this is complicated. Alright, I had to choose one because of course you can only choose 2 out of almost 2 years of stories, which is hard. I think they really should give us more options, but I chose the original Halloween story mainly because there was a really nice moment between Sephiroth and Glenn in Nibelheim Library that referenced future canon events. But I really like the anniversary stories that elaborate on summons because I would love to see more information about them, more lore added to the canon of Final Fantasy VII. But are there any limited weapons you'd like to see again? Oh no. And of course, yes, it's Camera, because I honestly don't think Monster Hunter crossover will return or even just the banner rerun anything, because they would have to make a deal with Capcom, so that's external. And that's why I don't think we will ever see something about Monster Hunter again. So I would just like to see Camera 2.0 for Aerith, specifically for Aerith, because yes, we have Matt Moira, but Matt doesn't have as many good weapons as Aerith. So just give us Camera 2.0 in the future, because the devs even addressed it in that last live stream, even Nomura himself. So please, one day, give us just an alternative for Aerith. And is there any gear you'd like to see again? I don't think so. I mean, we get the gear either in gear vouchers or in banner reruns when it's limited, so I'm not sure. And what items you like to see given as event at campaign rewards? Weapon parts. Mythla ingots, not really weapon vouchers. Oh, yeah, actually weapon vouchers. Guaranteed tickets, not really. Alright, let's do gear vouchers because they never hurt, and that would be great for everyone to get more outfits. And then also stamina tonic, it's always good, and materials, that would be also great, because right now, yes, role memories matter, but when we max out the characters they won't matter anymore. Same as High Winds, it has become irrelevant. Choco boosters, the same thing, it's just farmable, and with everything else, but also ticket draws, and yeah, those can also be great. Just essentially anything that we can't farm is good. And then what posts interest you the most? Well, new chapter preview, new character preview, new gear, not really. Weapon design, sure, there's also weapon introductions, not really. In-game reward, of course, and gift campaigns. But you can select everything if you want to. And alright, I didn't realize we're at the end of the survey, and those 3 last questions, they are just mainly what you would like to tell the management team. And here the first question is about the live stream, what you would like to see being talked about on a future live stream. And I wasn't sure what to say, because they will talk about the game and the future of the game, the mechanics and stuff that will be added anyway, but I would love to see something about new story that we'll get, because we are getting very close to the end of Crisis Core, so we should get something new in the future. So new story, hopefully before Crisis, new characters, we'll see. But this 49 question is just what you would like to see added in future updates. So for me personally, just character quests for sure, because I would love to see more of the story, lore, world building added. And also guild battles, as I said, I would love to see guilds being more engaging throughout the month, not just the guild battle being this one thing. They don't have to be demanding and engaging, just something small, but it would still count. But also, I would like to see the format of events changed, because now the loop is repetitive and it is mainly about hard content, because for months it's been like we are getting one season event as this more casual event and content, and then there's now escalation, solo ranking, either dungeon or battle ranking, then crash, guild battle. So we have now 4 hard and competitive events and only 1 seasonal event, so this balance is not really kept well, and it's very focused on hard content, and I would like to see it being a little bit more balanced, which was in the past. But also some new events, new formats, something new and fresh, that would also be very nice to see. And also crisis dungeons, just anything that will add some freshness, because I am not bored. I enjoy the game very much, but I know it can get stale for other people. So that would be nice. And the last question is just tell them anything you'd like to tell them. And essentially, I didn't write this wall of text, I just copied my community post on YouTube and I modified some things in here, but it's mainly just copy paste of that, because I think it touched on most points that I would like to be improved on. So it's mainly just those points, and I think I will still have to add something on materia and the RNG, because brands, yes, they are also annoying, because you can waste 1000 brands and not get anything good or an improvement upgrade. But materia has been a problem for almost 2 years, because after 2 years you might still not have even one single 10% attack materia, and it's no guaranteed progress. And I would like to see, it doesn't have to be huge, but just some guaranteed progress for the players, because a year without an upgrade on materia, it shouldn't be like that. Alright, so I have added the materia, and I think that should be all then. Yes, it's wall of text, but I do think it's our best chance to have our voices heard, so I think it's worth to take time to fill this survey, because customer service, yes, but it's a way, but you never know who reads that. If it gets forwarded to the management team, we don't know, but this is the best direct contact to them, and they might actually hear our feedback. So yeah, I'm just going to send it, and as I said, I recommend for everyone to fill this survey, because you get 1000 blue crystals for it. You don't have to write wall of text, you can just check the answers and you'll still get it. But this is important for the management team, but also for us, because we want to see this game improve. I love this game and I have fun, but I would also love to see everyone have fun, and because we play it, we want to see it thrive and get better. But yeah, so that would be all. And I also just make sure that your player ID is correct, so just go in game, don't try to type it, just copy paste it, and this will ensure that you'll get those 1000 crystals. So yeah, that would be all. So good luck, and I hope to see you in the next one.